Ever felt frustrated being told PMS, heavy bleeding, and cramping are just normal parts of life? You are not alone. I loathed my monthly cycle for decades. That all changed when I earned 3 health coaching certifications, discovering something incredible. Your period is vital. It is an outward sign of your inner health, and it holds the key to unlocking your full potential. I've been there battling heavy, painful periods, and I turn them into cycles with minimal PMS and cramping. Today, I'm on a mission to share that information with you. Pour a cup of your favorite drink, get comfy, and grab your headphones as we embark on a candid and empowering journey of self-discovery. Together, we'll demystify menstrual cycles, explore cyclical living, delve into natural birth control, and guide parents through those crucial period talks with tweens and teens. It's time to break the taboo around menstruation and embrace the wisdom it holds. I'm your host, Heather Allmendinger, and this is the Embracing Flow podcast. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me on Embracing Flow. It has been an absolutely hot minute since I last spoke to you, and I want to say thank you to everyone who has reached out and asked if everything was okay and was wondering where the next episode of Embracing Flow is coming from. I had to take a few minutes of break from the podcast. Everything is okay. My health is fine. My family is fine. I just needed to honor me. I've spoken to you and shared with you about cyclical living. And as much as I was living it, my body was telling me I had to rest. And some things had to give. And unfortunately, Embracing Flow for a few episodes of the podcast had to take a break. And I am back. Everything is great. I have episodes lined up and I cannot wait to share them with you. But I wanted to say thank you again for those who have reached out and for those who have been wondering, where is Embracing Flow? Just to kind of let you guys know what has been happening. My goodness, it has been a very, very, very hectic few months. And with those hectic few months, I was pulled in so many different directions and I was looking at burnout, and I know what that feels like. And I refused to go into that space. Plus, I was looking at 2025, what I wanted to do, how I wanted to align Embracing Flow and myself with my business, with cyclical living. And that's what I've been doing the last few months. There is some really, really cool stuff coming up on Embracing Flow. There's some beautiful stuff coming up with XX Strong. There's some gorgeous stuff coming up with Vividus and where I want to go and where everything is going to be going. A new book is coming out here. It had to be pushed off a few times outside of my control, but that is coming up here in December in 2024, if not early 2025. Dominate Your Period. And it goes into more depth than Dominate Your Journey. It is specifically goes into periods, the hormones, a little bit on how to alleviate some of those PMS symptoms, as well as a really cool neuroscientific method of removing emotions from your memories. So that way you still have your memories, but the emotional attachment to especially the negative emotional attachment to those memories is eliminated. That is in Dominate Your Period, and I cannot wait to share that book with you. Dominate Your Journey is still available, and the new book, Dominate Your Period, is going to be coming out late December, early January, so keep your eye out for that. In addition to that book being put into play, which has been kind of an ongoing project for the last few months, there is going to be another workbook, a year-long journal workbook to go along with Dominate Your Period. I am also a volunteer coordinator with my local, cultural club, the German Club, and I've been the volunteer coordinator this past year. Oktoberfest, believe it or not, is a 5-day event, and it is a huge event for our club. And so I was involved with that. And then as soon as that ended, I was on a trip to Boise, Idaho, and I went on that trip and had an amazing, amazing time in Boise, Idaho with that trip. Came back, and then I did a pageant, and everything just, I felt that burning of both ends, and I just needed to sit and realign with me, with my body, give myself time to see where I wanted to go in 2025. And I cannot, like I said, so many beautiful things are coming in 2025 to Embracing Flow, as well as Vividus and XX Strong. I want the end of 2024 if you would, take time to look at your life. Take time to, and I know it is very challenging being a single mom to two boys. And at one point, I did not have, my partner is an amazing man, and I am very, very fortunate to have him in my life. Prior to him coming into my life, I was burning. I had both ends of my wick, and there were 3 or 4 fires going on this wick. So I understand where some of you may be, and I know how challenging this can be. But take some time for you. What fills your cup? Take a few minutes every single day once the kiddos are in bed, if that's if you have kiddos, or you know what, stop the work that you're doing later at night. You are replaceable in your job. That was a hard one for me to understand. If you're working in the corporate field, you are replaceable according to your business, according to their business. Where you work, you are replaceable. The company will continue working whether you were there or not. However, there is only one you, and you are not replaceable in your life and to those that love you. You need to take care of you. You are the biggest advocate for yourself. And by taking care of you means sit down, take a deep breath, listen to what your body's telling you. How is it aligned? How is it out of alignment? And it could be 1 or 2 minutes a day. It could be 30 seconds. It could be a few breaths. Just take time for you. Find out what fills your cup. And in 2025, I would love for you to find a few glimmers of time. Make time to do those things that fill your cup. For me, it's sometimes just snuggling with my boys. It's a hug for my teenage son. It's a smile. It's one of the things that I noticed this past weekend. And I spent many, many hours on my feet at Christkindle Market. I smiled almost the entire time I was out in front of the public. And the smile came off behind closed doors. But in front of the public, I was smiling and I showed joy. And I got smiles back. And I got comments. I was asked, "How are you doing?" And for some that knew me, I asked, "Hey, ask me at the end of the shift." And for others, I was like, "Everything's fantastic. We have a crowd that we didn't expect." It was a huge crowd, but we needed it as a club. And I smiled because we were getting what we needed. And I want that for you, my listeners, as well. I want you to get what you need. Maybe not what you want, but you need. And part of what you need to listen to your body and hear what it needs. Because it is your vessel to do amazing, amazing things. Things that are beyond your comprehension. Your body is capable of doing it. You just have to listen. And to listen, we sometimes have to be quiet, which is another difficult thing for us to do. We are afraid of that quiet. We are afraid of the no sounds. We are sometimes afraid of sitting still. And in those still, quiet hours is where you hear the whispers of what your body needs and where you are given direction by whatever being, higher being you believe in. That is where directions come from, in that still, quiet place. So I encourage you as we end 2024 and begin 2025. Look at gratitude. Did somebody smile at you today? Did you wake up and see the sun come up? Or did you actually wake up? Are you able to see? Are you able to feel? Are you able to smell? Did you get something to eat? Do you have heat? Do you have clothing? Did somebody say hi to you? Did you get to smell the cool, crisp air? Or if you're listening in a warmer climate, did you feel the warmth on your face? Were you able to take a breath? Sometimes these little tiny things that we take for granted are exactly what we need to continue our day. I remember at one point in my journey to this point, I couldn't get past telling myself to breathe in and breathe out, because that is where I was at. And that was all I could not think past saying, Heather, breathe in, Heather, breathe out. Anything beyond a breath in and a breath out was inconceivable. A minute ahead of time, my brain was blank. All I could do was take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. And I actually physically said, Heather, breathe in, breathe out. And I had to do that several times before I could get past telling myself hey, you need to breathe. If that is where you're at, it is okay. You are okay to be in that space. If you are able to think months ahead, if you're looking at May and have everything planned out until May, June, July, August, that is fantastic. You are in a beautiful space. That is where your body is at, and it is gorgeous. But I want you to know that if you are in that space that you're breathing in and breathing out, it is okay. If you're in a space where you're looking at, oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to put food on the table tonight, know that everything, as much as it doesn't feel like it, will be okay. You will get through it. I struggled. I put on Facebook how I was struggling. And it happens. I go through different phases. And I sat and I thought and I sat and I listened in that quiet, uncomfortable space. And I got answers. And I know that it is possible. And I know you can too. So I know this is a short episode. And there's wonderful, I have wonderful episodes coming in the queue. But I wanted to let you know I'm still here. I wanted to let you know that Embracing Flow is living on. Embracing Flow hasn't gone anywhere. I absolutely love Embracing Flow, and I have heard so many different things on how needed this podcast is, how needed I am. And I know that the episodes coming up will be beneficial for you, my listeners, both new and as well as those that have been with me from the very beginning. Today is also marking December 4th, 2024, is the 1-year anniversary of Embracing Flow. I launched Embracing Flow on December 4th, 2023. So it has been a 1-year mark. Has it been easy? No, it hasn't. It's been sometimes a challenge bringing an episode to you almost every week. And I know sometimes it's been 10 days. That's where I was at. I wanted to look at that and see if I can consistently bring you episodes every single week for 2025. And I'm lining it up and aligning everything that, yes, you will have episodes every week. And I'm putting that out to you, and I'm promising you that for 2025. Embracing Flow will have an episode every week. But I needed the alignment time and that break in order to be able to promise you that and to bring Embracing Flow back. So again, I encourage you, before I end this episode of Embracing Flow, I am back. Embracing Flow is here. What do you need to look at 2024? Where were your highs? Where don't you want to go back to? Sit in that quiet, uncomfortable space and listen to those whispers, because those whispers are there to guide you. As challenging as that quiet space is, I know sometimes that quiet space is more frightening than standing on stage or even going to the dentist or surgery. Some of the highest stress levels there are, and what we fear the most, quiet space is one of them. But I encourage you to take time in that quiet space, even if it's in the middle of the night and Your partner's asleep, your kids are asleep, whatever it is that you're doing, take a few moments in that quiet space. Find some things that gave you hope, gave you joy, and listen to what messages your body is giving you, as well as your higher power, whatever you believe in. So with that, my friends, thank you so much for listening and spending your time with me today. If you found a nugget of wisdom or a moment of empowerment, the mission of Embracing Flow is accomplished. If you know someone who could use the information from Embracing Flow, please share the podcast with them. If you like what you hear on Embracing Flow, please leave a review. I love to hear it, and I take them seriously. So until next time, my friends, love hard, laugh often, and as always, be vividous. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow the show, submit a rating and review, and share it with your friends. Visit my website, embracingflowpodcast.com, to receive your free guide on 4 ways to decrease PMS. The link is in the show notes. Information shared on the Embracing Flow podcast is for educational purposes only. It does not constitute medical advice. Until next time, love hard, laugh often, and always be vividous.